Custom Menu K, camera utilities. Pixel mapping. This is great if you're noticing odd hot pixels and things like that. When you hit start, it'll go through and it'll take dark frames of just what the sensor reads out to see if there's any kind of stuck pixels or hot pixels and things like that. It'll go through, it'll map them, and it will eradicate them when you're actually making photos. Awesome to do here and there. Not necessary, but if you've never done it, go ahead and run it, and it'll create. It'll just update the hot pixel map. Exposure shift. This is one of those options I leave on default. If you're a full-time studio shooter and you know that your light meter reads a little over or a little under, and you want to match up your spot metering to that, you can dial in some compensation. That happens behind the scenes. If you're not, just leave that off, or you're going to wonder why your exposures are not coming out the way you expected. Autofocus adjustment. This you can do by lens. This only applies to if you're using lenses like the traditional 4/3 lenses, not micro 4/3 lenses. This adjusts the phase detection focus, because SLR lenses phase is fast, but it's not necessarily accurate, and a lot of lenses back focus or forward or front focus. This lets you adjust that just like an SLR would. You don't really need this if you're using contrast focus and native lenses. They just don't do that. So battery warning level. I used to have this set to -2. I now leave it at 0. I find the warning level when it tells you that you need to change your battery, the flashing red battery symbol. I get enough time when it comes on at 0. I used to have it lower, so I wouldn't have to be bothered with it, but then I found it was a little too low for my liking, and sometimes I'd get caught in the middle of a shoot where I didn't have the time to grab a battery. So I leave this at 0, and you get a good amount of time, good warning level. Battery priority. This means which battery goes first. Your body battery or your external battery when you're using a grip. I set this to PBH battery, so that means if you're using a grip, the battery inside the grip will be drained first, not the battery one. You don't want to have your grip on and have the body one drain first, and then you want to change it, you have to take the grip off. I'd rather the grip go first, and if I need to change a battery before the body one goes, then I can just change it in the grip. This is great for people that use grips and you're going for a long time. So it's nice to give us that option to decide. Level adjust. This you may never have to adjust, but if you're using the built-in level gauge, and you know that your camera is level because of your ball head or the structure or support that you've placed the camera on is 100% level, and you know that, but the camera's telling you something else, you can reset the level based on what you know is true level. So if you have no reason to think that your level is off and everything looks straight to you, you can just ignore this option. Touchscreen settings. I leave that off. Touchscreen is fun for some things, annoying for others. I don't use a touchscreen. I prefer not to, so I leave this off. And then iFi is if you're using iFi cards. I'm currently not. That is grayed out. And electronic zoom speed. I don't have any lenses that have electronic zoom, but if you did, you could adjust how quickly their zooming happens when you activate that to zoom in or zoom out. And that's what that option is.